TSM tried suing Doublelift. I'm guessing a defamation suit. I heard DL say the word disparagement. I doubt he would have said that word if it wasn't said against him at some point. I'm not a law expert, but from what I can tell, in California, it is legal to go public about workplace harassment, even if you sign a non-disparagement clause, and illegal for the workplace to try to stop you from speaking up. I assume Doublelift would handily win a lawsuit, even if he did wind up crossing the legal line a bit too much, as the window for talk is left wide open by the string of Reggies and nutjob accusers. Also, suing Doublelift is potentially catastrophic for TSM's brand, and opens up Reggie himself to become a bigger target to go after for any crimes he and his company may have committed. Even if he is likely to win, lawsuit is still a mentally draining process that no one really wants to deal with. Exactly. The point is to make DL think being honest is too expensive. Actually, these guys are all... This is actually my exact thought process, no joke. Yeah, I don't really give a fuck. I'll show you guys the letter. Confidential. We represent TSM, blah, blah, blah. Employment agreement. Okay. So apparently there were some breaches where I repeatedly disparaged TSM, Andy, Dan, and Walter Wang. And then this is the letter from Bryce Blum, Andy's little lapdog. In addition, TSM demands that... Basically, this is like all of the contract clauses that I fucking breach. I don't give a fuck if it's confidential. In addition, TSM... I actually asked my lawyer about whether or not I could publicize it, and he said it's fine. Demands that you cease your disparagement of TSM and members of TSM and your disclosure of TSM's confidential information. So they're saying that they're going to pursue me for liquidated damages of $300K total, as well as all reasonable costs and attorney fees associated with legal action against you. This last part doesn't really matter. It's like preserving all my texts and all that stuff. This whole thing is... let me just tell you guys that this whole thing just completely plays into the idea that Andy is a huge bully and that he can get away with what he wants because he's powerful. It's so funny that it just like completely proves my point. So basically this got sent a couple days after my stream, the initial stream, like 5-6 months ago. And I talked to my lawyer, and then I talked to a workplace lawyer right afterwards. And basically the gist of it is this. There's something called defamation. In a defamation case, you have to prove that what you said about somebody or company or something is verifiably untrue. Basically, that you willfully lied, knowing the truth, and still chose to lie, basically, in order to damage somebody's reputation, or just do any sort of damage to somebody. Disparagement is different. Andy cannot prove anything that I said is wrong because he knows that it's true. That's why they're using the term disparagement. Disparagement is talking in like speaking negatively or hurting the reputation of somebody regardless of truth. Even if it is true, you can be put in court for disparagement. So I'm like, it doesn't matter if what I said is true. If I cause damages to TSM under their non-disparagement clause of the contract that I signed with them in like 2020, then Andy can like try to sue me for it. Unfortunately for him, there's like basically a 0% chance that he would win, but that's not even the point. The point is, at that point, I just didn't really want to waste my time going to court, and I definitely didn't want to spend money because in terms of like bleeding money, Andy can he can ruin anyone's life that he wants, right? Because he's so rich. It's like if I spend $2 million on legal fees and he spends $2 million on legal fees, my life is over and his life is the exact same. You know what I mean? Like he can just drag somebody into a costly like legal battle that he knows he's going to lose, but it's just so stressful financially and mentally. It's like worth it for him because he's just that kind of guy. So at the end, I did stop talking about it, but I thought it was just absolutely hilarious looking back on this, that like it is so in line with everything that I said about him, that he's a bully. You know, that he gets away with being a terrible person because he's a CEO with a lot of money. Like, look at this, dude. He literally sent me a letter threatening to take me to court for $300K, and like on top of that, even more for something. He can't even say that what I said is untrue. All he can say is that what I said was damaging to his reputation. He's not even trying to say that what I said is untrue, right? If he did, he would try to go for defamation, not disparagement. So that's how fucking evil he is. In like the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp thing, I keep hearing the term defamation being thrown around, a defamation suit, right? And that they're trying to prove innocence or guilt of certain things being said, like that was a lie, that was untruthful. I was gonna get taken to court not for that. Like, it was over a non-disparagement clause that I signed in and I'm never signing a non-disparagement clause ever again. And for the rest of my life, I will never ever sign a non-disparagement clause, just because how fucking stupid is it that you can't talk about a workplace issue because it might damage that workplace's reputation, whether or not it's true. Why would you ever sign that clause, guys? I think for the rest of your guys' life, you should keep this in mind as well. You don't want to be threatened with like an army of lawyers from a 100+ millionaire because you spoke up about something that you thought was wrong and it hurt that company's reputation. It's like, of course it is. You're doing a fucked up thing. Like, of course it's gonna hurt your reputation. So evil. I'm just waiting for fucking Andy's next letter. Don't worry, it's going straight public. I would love to see the reaction from the community about it. It was really stressful at the time, but like now it's just funny, and it's definitely more, you know, it definitely feels par for the course. I saw a fucking funny ass comment on the Valorant subreddit, which was Andy. It was the article, Washington Post article about Andy's behavior. They got posted on Valorant Competitive. It's a subreddit for basically Valorant esports. And one of the top comments was, "This is about as surprising as the sun rising in the morning." Like it's like so obvious to anybody who is like watching with like an unbiased eyes. It's so obvious that these things would happen, you know? I really like that. The surprising as the sun rising in the morning. Reginald intimidation tactic 323. Try to threaten lawsuits. Ligma male grind set. Oh, so good. Should I post this on Twitter or should I just leave it as a stream thing? Is it good, guys? Oh wait, hold on, I need to pick. Actually, it's unfair to tag his lawyer. His lawyer's just doing his job. That's too good.